Good morning, everybody. 9 o'clock out in lovely Oxnard, California, where there's not a 90-degree day in sight. I don't
Not
think.
anytime near.
I mean,
If it does come, there's going to
don't
be
be
fire
sad,
behind
people in San Antonio. I'm sure it's lovely where you guys are right now, but I just happen to be wearing long sleeves right now. No big deal.
We're all in
No big deal.
Yeah.
Joining us now on the program, number 56 in your program, number 1 in your heart.
Right, a Piper High.
That's right. Cooper Beebe joins us on the program. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
We're good. You must be one of the early risers.
Oh, of course. Got to be.
Yeah. We've been in there lifting
He's
already or
alive.
what?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get
You
my
look,
work in.
you look strong. You look strong.
We were laughing at the music selection. It was the coaches that are choosing Daniel Boone and
Yeah.
all the other ones.
I guess back in the day, Tyron used to pick the music.
Yeah.
And now that he's gone, the coaches have taken over. They
It's
don't
really-
trust any of you guys.
I don't know if it's gotten any better.
But yeah.
It's not the same.
All right. Starter. This is you're the guy at center this year. Last year, it was you and Brock Hoffman. It was kind of we don't really know which direction we're going at that position. Does it feel different coming in feeling like you've got the job, or at least you're the guy who's expected to have the job, than it did last year when it felt like you were in a true 50-50 battle?
I think for me, I mean, you can never get complacent. I think for me, being able to have last year just makes me a lot more comfortable this year. But I know got to continue to push myself, continue to grow. I can't get comfortable. So I'm still trying to go out there day by day, get better and better. But there's definitely a little, relief, little comfortability, just being able to be comfortable having all that experience last year going into this year.
Well, obviously, you had a good year last year. And what was when you look at where you were this time last year at the end of the year, what was the biggest growth in your mind? Where did you get to at the end of the year that you wanted to get to?
I think the biggest thing for me was just the confidence, because obviously I never played center before, and playing it first time in the NFL is definitely a wake up call. There was definitely a lot to learn. Last year I was kind of just trying to figure things out, throughout the year, trying different things. Zach Martin, shout out to him when he was teaching me pretty much how to play center. And, but yeah, no, it was just the confidence and going up there, being confident with my calls, commanding the offense. And I think that's the point where I've got to this year where I'm comfortable doing that now. I'm out there confident in the calls I'm making. So I think that was the biggest step that I got to.
So with the injury to Rob Jones yesterday, it sounded like a pretty nasty thing. The broken neck is what it got reported, but obviously not around for the foreseeable future. This line looks a lot like it did last year, except you replaced a longtime vet with a rookie. How much growth or how much improvement do you expect just by playing another year together? Like, how important is that to an offensive line?
Oh, it's very important. Just understanding, the guys next to you and how they fit different things, their mannerisms. Especially me with Tyler Smith. Like, I know how he pass sets. He likes to be aggressive. So I base my set off that anytime I'm going to the left. It's just getting to know the guys next to you and how they play is such big. And you can only get that through reps. So the more reps we get, the better it's going to be, the more comfortable we'll get with each other, and we'll just continue to grow.
Over the years, the Cowboys have paid fines getting y'all that continuity, getting that extra reps because it matters. And I know under McCarthy, that was the most important thing to him. It seemed every year, the continuity with this line and the ballet that is the movement.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's extraordinary to watch. Just starting today, the difference we'll see in 4 days.
Yeah,
watch the way you guys start meshing. It's really an amazing thing to watch when you guys get there. And I do think the continuity matters. But you're thrust into a situation of leadership now. Do you feel any added responsibility now walking in? You got a couple of young guys that are going to be beside you. You're going to have to carry through already.
Yeah, a little bit. Having gone through what I did last year, I know what it takes, and I'm trying to lead in the book, and try to give him a leg up everything that I learned last year. So, he didn't have to learn, he's obviously going to have to learn the hard way as everybody has to, being a rookie in the NFL,
right.
But hopefully I can give him a leg up and teach him stuff that I learned, later in my rookie year that he can learn now.
Is it better not knowing what you don't know right now? Just go do it instead of overthinking it?
Yeah, I think, just kind of going out there and playing free, I think is really big. I think, especially last year, I kind of found myself, getting too tense, too nervous. I think that affected me, especially here in training camp. But Yeah, and I'm just telling him, man, go play free. You know, things will take care of itself, but just go out there, have fun. At the end of the day, you know, we're playing a kid's game. Like, you got to go out there and enjoy it.
When you guys, the practice yesterday, everything seemed it seemed very loose. It seemed like a lot of celebrating, a lot of high fives. It looked a lot different than the practices last year looked. How different has it been with the new regime here, and how is morale different even from a year ago?
Yeah, I think Shai's just done a tremendous job. You know, I think one of the biggest things with him is he lets the players be them. You know, he doesn't try to make them be, you know, robotic. You know, we have a lot of different personalities on this team, and he lets those shine, and you can see it out there in the practice, the energy, you know, the emotion, the passion people play with. He lets that, you know, shine, and he acknowledges that, and I think that's something that we needed. You need to be out there having fun, playing free, and it just makes you play that much better.
Oh, let's talk about your room and playing fun. Okay, who is the grumpiest lineman? Who's the dude that not a morning guy? Who's the guy in the room that you just got to shut up around?
I don't know if we have any of those. I think, especially with O-line, I think a lot of them are all morning people. To be honest with you.
So you're all annoying. All right. Who's the what's the rookie responsibility this year? You got them doing anything?
Honestly, they're kind of getting soft. I know, you know, some of the veterans, you know, I was having to go, you know, get food for them, you know, every day and all this other stuff. And, you know, I feel like some of the veteran guys are kind of getting soft on the rookies this year.
Well, that's part of your leadership role there, Coop. You're going to have to put them to work.
All right. So far of the defensive linemen, who's the guy when he grabs onto you, you say, oh, damn, this dude is strong.
It's got to be Ose. You know, just going against him, you know, the majority of the time. I mean, he's a phenomenal player. You know, we battle every time we go against each other, and he's the one that, you know, is definitely, you know, he gets a hold of you. You know, oh, watch out. You know, I better have my feet in the ground, or this could end up bad.
A lot of Cowboy fan happy to hear that.
It's funny when you look at a guy like him. He doesn't. I mean, compared to someone like we were talking about Jay Toya, who looks like a car, like he's a
Volkswagen.
He's a walking refrigerator. But then there's guys like that kind of strength, and then there's guys who you look at him and I mean, obviously he's a professional athlete, he's going to be strong, but sometimes it's the guys like that that'll surprise you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, you've got a new quarterback, backup quarterback. What's Milton like in the huddle?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
You know, he's definitely a character.
He looks like it.
His personality is awesome, and just like what I was talking about earlier, man, he loves to have fun, play free. I think he's done a really good job of, you know, learning the offense and taking that in stride and just continuing, you know, to push Dak. And, you know, I think that's, you know, what we always need. You always need somebody behind you that's going to make you better. And, you know, I think Dak has said that multiple times that, you know, Joe's making him better. So that's, you know, what you want.
Life in the Big 12 for your Wildcats. Should we expect a return to the top of the Big 12? Disappointment last season. It feels like your coach there has really got that program kind of pointed in the right direction now.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Kleiman's phenomenal. I would expect us to be at the top again. You know, especially with our quarterback Avery Johnson having, you know, that year under his belt, he's going to be more confident. That dude's a freak athlete. You know, watch out for Dylan Edwards at running back. Our defense will be stacked, so I expect us to be at the top again.
Okay, there are guys like me. I get a lot of grief for this. Like, I look at the Big 12 now as like a lesser conference than when Texas and Oklahoma were in it. Do you, and like just adding the other stuff, like those aren't real football schools. I feel like you sell me on the quality of Big 12 football in 2025.
Yeah, I think with the Big 12, I mean, every game's a battle. I don't think, you know, you don't have the teams and like some of the other conferences that are at the low level that, you know, you look at on the schedule, it's like, hey, you know,
that's not a week off.
Yeah, it's not a week off. You know, we're not playing a non-conference game halfway through the year. Like, we don't get that luxury. You know, every game's a battle, and people may look at it like, oh, you know, there's a bunch of, you know, 7 and 5 teams. Well, it's because every team's good. You know, you don't go out there, you don't have one team that just completely dominates everybody else. Like, it's a super competitive league, and I think the quality is really high, and people just don't understand that.
When Texas and Oklahoma were there, sort of the bell cow football programs, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I feel like most people circle those games as like, man, we get to go up against these guys. We're going to kick their ass. Like, it's like a big game. What game now for Kansas State is the let's go? This is our big week. I know it's not Kansas because I mean,
Kansas.
yeah.
No, I don't honestly.
Is it Oak State?
Probably, I would probably say Oklahoma State. Just because every time, I mean, especially when I was there, we always went back and forth. We always struggled to play in Boone Pickett Stadium. They always struggled to play in Manhattan, so it was always a good battle. So I'd probably say them now. Yeah.
Like it.
Yeah. You loved your time at Kansas State?
Oh, loved it. It was phenomenal. I can't ask for a better situation. I loved it up there.
Was that your goal all along? That's where you wanted to be from day one?
Yeah.
Like when you were in high school, you're like, okay, when I finish, if things go right, this is where I want to be?
Yeah. I wanted to stay close. My family is a big, support system for me. And, being from Kansas City, it was only an hour and a half to Manhattan. So my parents, could make it to every game. And I wanted them to be there. So I wanted to stay close. And, Manhattan just kind of called to me, the community, the fans, the people, man, it's just a phenomenal place to be.
A good college town.
How often do your parents get to go down to Dallas and see the games there?
Oh, they're there every game.
That's awesome.
Yep. And then they make some road games depending on, obviously how far and that kind of thing. But they're there every home game.
That's awesome. So tomorrow's off day. So what's on the plans?
Yeah, I'll just get up, stretch, kind of move around, hit the tubs, that kind of thing. And honestly, probably sit down and play video games for 8 hours of my day.
Is there a restaurant that you look forward to? Is there a place that you hit on the regular?
Be honest, I don't leave here very often on my off days. I kind of just stay.
This is a business trip.
Yeah, stay home. I'm especially I don't really know everything. I don't know. I'm still learning. The whole training camp experience and that kind of thing. But yeah. Usually I just stick to the around here, the hotel, play my video games and then,
What are y'all playing?
It's called Ready or Not.
Ready or Not.
Yeah. It's like a SWAT inspired game. You can team up with your guys and you got to go in, clear buildings and that kind of thing. It's really a very funny experience. Playing with the guys and just, it's just a good time to be.
Do you get to beat up the suspects?
You can, but you lose.
This feels like a crazy game, a police game where you can
you got to look
negative,
though. It's going pretty viral right now. You'll have to look it up. It's a fun time.
That is Cooper Beebe,
yes, sir.
The starting center for the Dallas Cowboys. Hey man, we appreciate the time, appreciate it, and good luck this season.
Best of luck, good health.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
Pleasure. Thanks for stopping by.
There you go. That is
Cooper
Cooper Beebe.